Hello there, I'm FIDE Master Jonathan Blackburn, and today in this video I'm going to show you how you can win a chess game in just 4 moves. It's called Scholar's Mate, and it's literally one of the first things that you pretty much learn after you've learned all the rules of the game. So I'm going to assume that you know how to move all the pieces, you understand the difference between check and checkmate, although you might still be a little bit unsure about them, but you definitely know how all the pieces move, and you're just trying to kind of find your way in the game and try and understand what you can do. Well, let's get into it. So the first thing to realise, or first thing to do, is to actually make sure that your board is set up correctly. If you haven't got the board set up correctly, this can really mess it up. So you need to make sure that happens. So make sure there's a dark square in the bottom left hand corner from wherever you're viewing. You'll notice that it's in the top right if you're playing on the other side. That's because from their point of view they're looking down, and that will be their bottom left. So make sure that's happening, and make sure the queens are on the colour that they are. So the black queen on the black square and the white queen on the white square, and that makes sure that we can do this. So first of all, it's about identifying where the weakest part of the army actually is at the start of the game. And just to let you know, it's going to be this point here. It's kind of diagonal to the king, and the reason why it's this pawn here and this square is because there's no other pieces here that are actually guarding that pawn right apart from the king. And we want to get to the king. If we're able to get to the king, we can give checkmate, and it's going to be game over. Likewise, it's the same for white as well. This is something that can be done on black on white. It's not a colour specific. It usually is white doing it to black because white has the first move and therefore can threaten to do it first. So let's have a look at the first move. So it's actually the most common move in the game of chess, which is the king pawn forward 2 squares. We also call this e2 to e4 because that's where the E line would be if you go A, B, C, D, E from across. And black usually responds with the same move, controlling some squares in the centre. And then here I'm going to do quite an aggressive move. Actually, it involves your queen and bishop. That's your light square bishop. And here I'm going to bring my queen out all the way to the edge of the board here to start eyeing up this pawn. Of course, it does attack a couple of other pawns as well, but really we're focused on this pawn here. I could have, if I wanted to, bring my queen out to this square f3 and it would do the same thing, so it can be done from a different angle. So it's a little bit different there. So queen out to this is h5, attacking this pawn. And we're going to assume that black just does kind of nothing. Let's suppose they bring this knight out. It does actually defend this pawn from our queen as well, which is quite a positive thing. And then we bring our third piece out, our bishop. So we've got our bishop and queen out. We've done our 3 moves, and our bishop is lining up on this pawn. Our queen is lining up on this pawn. And really the 4-move checkmate is when your opponent kind of really ignores the threat. They might do this accidentally sometimes, or they might stop it accidentally. And suppose, for example, they just move this rook or something, whatever they might do, something that doesn't interfere with the checkmate. And all you need to do is take with the queen, and you see that little asterisk come up, that hashtag, that means it's checkmate. Obviously you don't get told during the game, so the first thing to work out is the king under attack? Well, it definitely is, so we know it's check at least, okay? And the 3 ways out of checkmate is avoid, block and capture. Well, there's nothing that you can't avoid it because we can't move where other pieces are, we can't move off the board, we can't move down with the king because the queen would still get it. And we can't take the queen with the king. And many new players think that they can do this. You wouldn't be allowed to do that because the bishop is actually guarding that. You can never do a move with your king where it can be taken. And the problem for black is you've got all these pieces around it. You see this rook, this knight, this bishop, this queen. You think, oh, surely one of them can do something. But no, they can't. The bishop can only move on dark squares. The knight would actually jump over the queen, so it just can't actually interfere, which is why this is the weakest point at the start of the game. So just from the top then, so it's usually your king pawn forward 2 squares. You can go forward 1. You can bring your queen out, and then you can bring your bishop out. And if you want to start with your bishop and then bring your queen out next, that's up to you. Obviously, you still have to be careful of what your opponent does. There's lots of ways of stopping this, but literally, if they just do something that doesn't interfere with the checkmate, you do queen takes pawn, and defended by the bishop, this could get you a win in only 4 moves, which I think is really worthwhile knowing. In my next video, I'll show you how to stop it. But apart from that, thanks very much for watching. You can follow me on social media below, or of course, if you're watching the video, just click like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thanks very much for watching.